Hello to everyone. Hello, dear guests. I'm gonna try to be quite short. I think my colleague Marius already mentioned what the facts are and what the effects of not taking climate action is going to be if we don't start now. So I'm just going to try to give you a little bit of insight on why we think that youth participation is so important and what exactly youth climate leadership is. So I've grown up close to Lefsina, a region that knows what it means to live on the front line of environmental change. For those who are not aware, it is located in West Attica, a region that concentrates about 1/3 of Greece's heavy industries. In West Attica, we experience this deeply. We live between refineries and nature reserves. We've seen what happens when environmental policies forget about people, when workers are told they must choose between feeding their families and protecting the air. That is why we talk about climate justice, because the transition we need must be fair to the worker, to the farmer, to the child breathing next to the highway. Youth climate leadership is not about replacing the old with the young. It's about building bridges between generations. It's about saying to policymakers, we are not your oppositions, we are your continuity. We will live with the consequences of your decisions, and we're ready to take responsibility for shaping them. For my generation, the climate crisis has never been a distant concept. It's been the background noise of our lives, the smell of smoke in the air, the heat waves that cancel school, the worry and fear every time the temperatures rise between a certain degrees. But my journey in climate justice, in contrast to many of my peers, didn't start through strikes or campaigns. It began through school-initiated projects like Virtual Company, where we designed a disaster awareness center meant to prepare citizens, or the Foodathon competition, where we designed an app meant to solve the problems of food scarcity and food waste. Now, as we're getting older and many of us are moving into universities, workplaces, and local councils, our activism is changing shape. We're holding proposals, drafting policies, creating NGOs and startups that reimagine energy and waste. But realism means this. We can't just say the system is broken, we must learn to repair it. Oftentimes, when we are in panels like this today, it is often claimed that the younger generation, ours, doesn't actually care, and maybe, just maybe, we are the exception. But we are not. We lack opportunities. I have so many friends that would love to go into research, whether it's in the field of engineering or chemical analysis, but they are told that they will not get the chance to do this, at least not here in Greece. This is why climate literacy is vital, not just lessons about recycling or polar bears, but actually teaching systems, energy, economics, governments. In Attica, students should learn how change connects to agriculture in Megara, to shipping in Lefsina, to urban planning in Athens. This is how we build leaders who can act, not just react. And to end my speech, I would like to say that, to be honest, our voices are often treated like decoration. A box to tick in youth consultation. Too often, we're invited to panels for our energy, not our ideas, proposals, expertise. That must change. Real youth participation means giving young people seats where power sits, in ministries, city councils, boardrooms, not just using them to manipulate the public opinion. The truth is, we're not dreamers anymore, we're doers. We've inherited a crisis we didn't cause, but we refuse, and I repeat, we refuse to inherit despair. In every community, in every region of the world, we see young engineers turning waste into materials, students mapping fire risk with drones. We're proving that optimism isn't naive, it's necessary. So as a young person myself, I would like to tell you that I don't stand here asking for your hope. I stand here offering partnership, because the climate fight isn't about saving which of course I understand is on its own a very simple not very simple at all task to begin with, but it's about saving the possibility of a just, livable future for us all. And that requires cooperation of every generation. So please join us. Thank you very much for your attention.